So I have her fish part all painted, and it is going to need 2 coats, and that's okay. There is no flesh tone options in the oxides. So I am going to go and get a flesh colored paint for her face and her tummy and her neck. And I think I am going to give her, midriff top a different color, I think. I am really partial to, let's try the Pickles Raspberry. I discovered that you really do not need to put this on your mat. You can just go directly onto your ink pad. So, oh yeah. Now I see that there are some spots where the paint is not absorbing into, and I think it had something to do with the layer of the matte medium, but that's okay. It gives it character. And this is definitely going to need 2 coats as well. So let me paint that in, and then I will be back. So I have her little midriff top painted in, and that is going to need a 2nd coat. And I went into my stash to find a flesh color. You can use any flesh colored paint that you want. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using. As a palette, I just use plastic plates. I like the plastic coated plates better than the paper plates because the paper plates suck in your paint and you can't blend. I don't need to actually put this out on my palette. I can just take the paint from the cover. Yep, I'll just blend it out a little bit there. It looks good. So let's just give that a coat of the flesh color. I'm trying to use up the supplies that I have and not have to go out and purchase something new. And there is always something new out there. It's the same as what you have, but somebody did something to it. Maybe they put it in a prettier package, or acrylic paint is acrylic paint. I like using a flat brush because, let me see if I can get in close here. Load up your paint on your brush. And this is getting a little old. That's what happens when you don't use stuff up, is that it gets thick. So anyway, I'll show you on her face. So I have the flat brush and I just press down and drag. And it makes a nice straight line. Now I'll come down her side. Now you see how I'm turning my page? That's why I like working on a page rather than painting in the journal, because you don't have this flexibility. You have to pay attention when you paint and there's wet paint next to, you know, your hand or your arm. You can always go in and dry it so that you don't have an accident. Now, if you'll notice, I did her face and I went around. I made that semicircle. Even though her neck is the same color, I still like to distinguish that separation of the neck and the face. It's going to get shading anyway. So let's go in and do that and do her neck. I do have training in decorative painting. Everything you do is just practice, practice, practice. There we go. I am not going to worry about her hands right now, I think. Her hands are going to be a little tricky, I think, for me. But that's all right. I'll just worry about that later. I am going to go in and give this a second coat on everything.